I want to think about how do I ask meaningful questions and get useful answers.
Hey, I'm Winston, a product manager here at Honeycomb, and today I'm talking to Hazel Weekly, who is an SRE, a web developer, an all around observability expert, and currently a principal architect. And I have a few questions for her. Thanks so much for talking to us today, Hazel.
Winston, I'm glad to be here and I can't wait to get started. Let's dig in.
Yeah, let's dig in. All right. My main question is if you could see all traces generated by a single user session, let's say in a browser, including following any API requests to the backend and other distributed services, what questions would that make you ask about the session or the data that you have available?
Great question. So when I think about this, maybe I'm debugging something, maybe I'm asking myself a question. I want to think about how do I ask meaningful questions and get useful answers. The answers don't have to be correct because that's such a fuzzy human notion, but they should be useful for me and they need to be meaningful for the business. So I think about personally this cone of uncertainty where I have like these very basic questions that are very close to now. And as I go forward, the questions get fuzzier and the search gets broader. So I want to slice off and start to narrow down all those aspects of that cone as early as possible so I can get to more of those known knowns and less of those unknown unknowns as far as possible so that I can anticipate their needs, verify that we meet them, and be able to do that. So typically the questions that I ask are going to be how do I narrow things down? How do I look for outliers? How do I correlate my hypotheses with their actual usage in a way that can narrow that down, verify and validate these hypotheses and or falsify them as soon as possible. It's very much, it puts me in that hat of being a user research expert or like a user. How do I understand them? How do I understand their psychology? What they're experiencing from their perspective as they use my product?
I love that.